PrizePicks.
Hello everyone, this is Mike with BetBlitz. Welcome back to your source for daily sports picks. Today is a new day and we're looking to set you up with a few of some of the best picks on both PrizePicks as well as Underdog. Please take a moment to hit that like button. We do have a like goal for this video, and if this video gets above 250 likes, we will be dropping a bonus pick in our next video. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get pumped. Also, at the end of the video, let us know which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. Alright, let's get right into some of the best picks for today. For our first pick, we'll be headed over to the Rebounds plus Assists tab, and we'll be selecting Kyrie Irving for less than 8 rebounds plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, and by the way, if you'd like to try Outlier for yourself, use our link in the description below for a free 7-day trial. You see that Kyrie Irving has actually fallen below this line in 6 of his last 10 games, including one tie. Now, we aren't relying too much on regular season data at this point of the season, but for those of you who still want to see this, we are sharing here Boston's defensive numbers against rebounding and assists to opponents, and here their defensive numbers for rebounding and assists to opponent point guard positions, as well as the opponent shooting guard position, for those of you who want to see that as well. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Kyrie Irving is playing a solid dose of minutes over his last 10 games, averaging near 41 minutes per game. This is slightly higher than we'd like to see it to take his under on this line. However, his high minutes haven't really translated to an increase in rebounding and assists for him. In fact, in his last game, he played over 45 minutes and fell well below this line. And if you watched last game, you noticed that Kyrie Irving was pretty much on the ball the majority of Dallas's defensive possessions, or rather offensive possessions, and Luka was mostly playing off the ball, especially in the first half. And yet again, it did not really translate to Kyrie Irving's rebounding or assists. In fact, he finished with a total of 5 in that game. Now, on the regular season, Kyrie Irving was a phenomenal rebounder for his position, as well as a solid playmaker, averaging 5 rebounds as well as above 5 assists. During these playoffs, however, he has taken a slight step back in his playmaking and a significant step back in his rebounding, dropping to below 4 rebounds per game and just below 5 assists. We also do want to point out that in 5 games versus the Boston Celtics this season, Kyrie Irving does have an average of just above 3.5 rebounds as well as 3 assists. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Kyrie Irving for less than 8 rebounds plus assists. For our next pick, we'll be headed over to the PRA tab, and we'll be selecting Jaylen Brown for more than 34.5 PRA. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, we see that Jaylen Brown has actually exceeded this line in 6 of his last 10 games. And head-to-head versus the Dallas Mavericks, he's actually exceeded this line in 4 of his last 7 matchups versus the Mavs. Now again, we aren't relying too heavily on regular season data at this point of the season, but there are some of you who still would like to see the Mavericks' defensive numbers during the regular season when making your decisions. Here are their defensive numbers against the opponent's small forward PRAs, as well as their defensive numbers against opponent's shooting guard PRAs. Now, we do want to caution you that the Mavericks have been much better defensively during these playoffs. During these finals, they have slipped a little bit back to similar numbers as these, but overall, totally much better defensively during these playoffs. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Jaylen Brown is getting a solid dose of minutes over his last 10 games, averaging a solid 40 minutes per game. In his last 2 games versus the Mavericks, he's gone over the 40-minute mark, so he should also have plenty of time to reach this line as well. On the regular season, Jaylen Brown had pretty solid PRA line, 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, and slightly above 3.5 assists. During these playoffs, he has taken an increase in both scoring and rebounding, and his playmaking is held pretty constant at right around that 3.5 mark. And we also do want to point out that in 5 matchups versus the Dallas Mavericks this season, Jaylen Brown has had terrific PRA lines of over 26 points per game, just above 5.5 rebounds, as well as above 5 assists. And we're actually expecting a big performance out of Jaylen Brown. We do think he will be winning the Finals MVP. Let us know down in the comment section who you guys think will actually be the Finals MVP for this series. Again, we think Brown is a pretty clear favorite. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Jaylen Brown for more than 34.5 PRA. Now, before we get into our third pick, we want to share a couple of plays with you on Underdog Fantasy that we thought had a great chance of hitting, and that's Jayson Tatum for higher than 0.5 double-doubles, as well as Luka Doncic for higher than 0.5 double-doubles. If you like making picks on things like double-doubles, triple-doubles, and still have access to the traditional PRAs, check out Underdog Fantasy, because right now, when you use code BETBLITZ, you'll receive a free pick as well as up to $250 in bonus cash. They have a lot of cool features, such as a draft where you can go head-to-head versus other players while cashing out big profits. And also be on the lookout. We will be dropping a discounter prop for this game later today, so be on the lookout for that as well. For our third pick, we'll actually be in the NBA first half, a section under the PRA tab, and we'll be selecting Jayson Tatum for less than 21.5 first half PRA. Now, taking a quick look here on Outlier, this pick may come as a bit of a surprise to some of you, as Jayson Tatum has actually only fallen below this line in 5 of his last 10 games. In fact, in his last game, he did have a big performance during the first half, scoring 20 points, 4 rebounds, as well as 2 assists. However, we think the Mavericks will game plan to slow him down heading into Game 4, especially in the first half, in order to limit Boston from getting out into a big lead for this game. Here are Dallas's defensive numbers against the power forward position for the PRA, for those of you who want to see that as well. Taking a quick look here at his first half minutes, we see that Jayson Tatum is getting a solid dose of minutes during the first half. In fact, in his last 10 first halves, he's averaged over 20 minutes. This is a little bit higher than we'd like to see it, to be taking his under on the line. However, again, with his big performance in Game 3, we expect the Mavericks to try to slow him down, especially in the first half, so that they don't get out to such a big lead. Now, on the regular season, Tatum did have some solid PRA totals of near 27 points, above 8 rebounds, and just under 5 assists. During these playoffs, he also has continued to have solid PRA totals, dropping slightly in points, but increasing in both rebounds and assists. But again, with their season on the line, we expect the Mavericks to come out and play aggressively defensively to try to limit Boston's star players, starting with Jayson Tatum. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Jayson Tatum for less than 21.5 first half PRA. All right, these are our picks for today. And after we finish reviewing, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. So for our picks, we took Kyrie Irving for less than 8 rebounds plus assists. We took Jaylen Brown for more than 34.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. And finally, we took Jayson Tatum for less than 21.5 first half PRA. Now, we're not saying to take all these picks and throw them into some huge parlay, but overall, these picks individually could be some useful additions to the overall entries that you have in mind. And if you like our picks in this video and want access to even more picks, check our link in the description below to join our Discord, where we drop even more picks every single day. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your push notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.